So again, you're finding your vertical axis line, and we want to make sure it isn't this. But over time, it becomes more this, where this is drawing up and everything else is hanging and releasing down. Feeling your buttock bones, your sits bones on either side as your roots to the chair. And then when we stand up, that same concept of vertical axis down through to these two roots transfers down through the legs and through the ball of each foot. Sorry, I keep having people showing up here. So when we're meditating, we're working on more than just calming the mind or bringing our mind into the present moment. We're actually training basic structural principles, right? And just to let folks know, Gary, Nancy, Gardner, and Janona, you guys are all, your cameras are turned off. If that's how you want it, you're welcome to keep it that way. But if you want to turn it on, down at the bottom left of your screen should be camera on. And then Gary, you just unmuted yourself. Could you mute yourself for me, please? Gary?
Yeah.
Could you mute yourself for me? Mute your...
Pardon?
You need to mute yourself. You just unmuted yourself. So bottom left. So one is for the video, one is for the audio. Perfect. Thank you. Great. And then the other principle that we're practicing that is a very Tai Chi basic movement and balance and gait principle is one of supple, soft, relaxed body, what they call sung. So this released body, noting that when you're sitting in your chair correctly, you're not tensing the musculature to hold you there. You don't have to. Many times we are doing that subconsciously. Or if we're relaxing, we're sort of slouching and slumping. So it's about doing this appropriate effort to line everything up and then letting go of the effort we can let go of and feeling that ease throughout the entire body. So you could think of that as now you're relying upon your liquid nature, your water nature, your hydraulic nature, the hydraulic integrity to keep you upright. And Janona, it looks like you're unmuted now. Could you mute yourself for me? Bottom left there. Thanks. Great. And the breathing just assists us in all of these endeavors. Bringing the mind present, connecting our attention, our consciousness to our physical body. And then this feeling of alignment and release. And then we just go through here some basic body movements to wake everything up and move everything a little bit. So 3 of each of these. First is slide the hands forward, drop the head and round the back gently. And then it's complementary exercise. Slide the hands and elbows back, lift the chest, look up, arching. 2 more like that. Slide the hands forward, round the back gently. Slide the hands back, gently arch. 1 more, forward. And back. Now settle to the middle, rotation, slide left hand forward past the knee, right hand back, and turn as if to just look over to the right. And then slide back to middle and switch. Turn with the other. 2 more of each. Slide and rotate. Slide and rotate. So by softly moving through these ranges of motion, notice you can execute these movements without breaking that song or that supple, soft, relaxed body. Back to middle. Arms hang, and we're just going to do one of these. Just softly lean. Lift the left elbow up a little bit, hand relaxed. We're just tipping ourselves to the right. Option, if it's available for your shoulder, to just reach up to the sky. And then droop the hand back down. Let's go the other way. Softly droop. Right elbow lifts first. Then maybe the hand somewhat higher. And just let your head tip, let your spine tip. Right, we're releasing ourselves in that direction. And then bring the hand down. And we're here. Now, shoulder blades, double, lift, and melt. 2 more. Shrug up. Notice my arms are hanging here alongside the body. Shrug up, arms hanging. Melt down. So when you melt, you let your arms totally dangle down. Again, shrug up. And they melt down. Bring your legs a little closer to each other. Now we lean a little forward. Arms come a little forward. Shoulder blades spread apart from the spine. And then we shrug up and bring them back. And then melt them down. Forward and up. I know I'm wearing a black shirt. It's going to be kind of hard to see what I'm doing. So I'll move a little closer just so you can. Forward, up. And then here it's like you crack a walnut between your shoulder blades and then just let them slide down to neutral. So they hang right here, easy. Again, forward, up, back, down. One more. Now we just go the other way, back to crack a walnut first, lift the walnut, and then when you come forward, spread the shoulder blades apart to let the walnut roll down off your back. Crack it, lift it, and then roll and spread the shoulder blades apart. So just a couple more. And we've been doing these a while, so hopefully they start to feel like something you can flow with, right? At first we learn the sort of robotic version, but then it's just sort of liquid and fluid and easy, right? Okay, good. Now we got our, just to loosen up the shoulders and chest. Again, the reason this is important for balance is the idea is that we often are holding up in this region, we're holding tension in sort of that fear of falling state of being, and that makes us top heavy. Whereas what we want to do is melt all that out and have the weight go down and through, and the weight actually be under us, and up here is light and can lean and move freely, and our weight is down at the bottom. So bend the elbows, bring your hands up. So these movements are about sort of like a sponge, wringing out a sponge. Bring the elbows towards each other and squeeze together. So your elbows are bent, hands are up, hands are on either side of your head there. Elbows flare out like chicken wings, as high as they want to go. Feel how that's sort of wringing out the shoulders. Then bring them down. Then bring them around in front and squeeze. That squishes the tissue in the front and opens the tissue in the back, right? And then release them down. Then the elbows go out and up as high as they can go. And then down. And then around in front and in, squeeze. And down. Now we go elbows back, behind, right? then down, then forward, and even up. Notice over time, you want to be able to get your hands onto your lower neck and upper back area. And then elbows forward, down, back. Down, forward, up, forward, down, back, down, forward, up, and release them down here. Now, just one arm at a time. This is a new one for most of you. Elbow comes across, up a little bit, and then out to the side and down. Across, up, out, down. Across in front, elbow up, and then like you're elbowing something or someone right next to you there, and then down, two more. Across. So this takes the movement that we were just doing and really gets all the little other nooks and crannies. So Janona, you're doing this and then out. Watch what I'm doing. Look where my hand is going. I'm reaching across. Yeah. So we're going across, then up, then like you're elbowing something to the side of you. That's perfect. And then down. Let's do a couple more. Across. There it is. Up. And then out. And then down. Now, other arm. Across. Up. Out. Down. Across. Up. Out. Down. Cross. So again, we're just ringing out these common places. So Gary, go ahead and follow along. We're going across, up, out, down, across, up, out, down. One more. Across, up, out, down. Now, the weird complementary exercise, elbow back, right? So it's back. Then it goes out, up, over. The fist tucks in close to the body at this point, and the elbow drops down in front. The elbow goes back, out, up, and over. The fist is tucked into the armpit there, Nancy. Sorry. So yeah, tuck it in there so that you can reach the elbow over the top and then, yeah, there it is. Exactly. And then drop it. That's correct. Back, out, up, over, and reach that elbow forward and down in front. Back, out, up, and over. Two more. Back, out, up, over. So again, this fist, Gary, you see when I'm coming over, the hand is tucked in close to the body. So that's what allows you to reach out with the elbow. Yes, there it is. And that opens up all this crud that's in our shoulders and back. And then the elbow drops and comes back behind. One more. Out, up, and over. Good. Other side. Bend that elbow. So this one goes back. So now we're doing the other side, the other arm. Out, up, tuck that hand, keep it tucked by the armpit and chest as the elbow goes over the top and forward. And then down. Elbow goes back, out to the side, up and over the top towards the front, and then down. Bruce, bend your elbow more so that your fist is touching your body. Touch your hand to your body. The elbow goes back, out, up, and over. The fist stays tucked in, but lead through the elbow. Couple more. All right, we're just unbuckling all the tension that can be bound up in the chest, shoulder blade, upper back, arm, neck, right? And then finally, just to put the cherry on top, double. Cross, lift, out, down, cross the other, cross. So one is under, one is over. So it has a sort of asymmetrical look, but then out, down, across. So we're closing in the front, lifting, and then we're opening in the front. And then we're down, and then we're closing in the front, bringing those elbows to cross, lifting, and then open and down. Now the complementary exercise, elbows back, out, up, over, fists tucked in, and then you just roll it all the way through. Back, out, up, and over. Again. Back, out, up, over, fists tucked in. Last one. And complete. Good job. Scoot back towards the comfortable place in your chair. And let's do chambers. Fists up like a boxer. Shift your weight to one butt cheek. Chamber. Down. Shift to the other butt cheek. Chamber. Down. Shift. Chamber. Shift. Chamber. Shift. Now chamber. Push. 3 times. 1. Reload it. 2. Reload it. 3. Reload it. Put it down. Other side. Chamber. 1, 2, 3. Put it down. 1 more on this side. And this side, foot and ankle, point, flex. Invert, evert. Circles. Other way, circles. And switch. Point, flex. Invert, evert. Circles. Other way. And down. Scoot forward to the edge of your chair if you're not there now. Swivel steps just to warm up the rotators of the legs and hips. So that's lift the ball of your left foot, turn the knee and toe out, bring it back to neutral, then internal. So the knee and the toes come in. Neutral, external. Neutral, internal. Now skip neutral, external, internal, external, internal, and back to neutral. Other leg, external, neutral, internal, neutral, neutral, internal, neutral. Now, skip neutral and just go external, internal, Notice what is moving and what isn't, right? The pelvis and other leg ideally are really not moving much, where this guy over here is really moving. And we're back to neutral, both external, neutral, internal, neutral, X. So the heel is the swivel point for this particular exercise. We could also be doing this with the ball of the foot as the pivot, but we're not today. We're just doing this heel. So we get that open, close. Now, skip neutral. Open, close. Open, close. Two more. And neutral. Now bring your legs very close together. Place your left hand on your right knee, right hand on your right thigh. So both hands are on that one leg. Put all of that together, the lifting and the rotation. Looks like this. Lift, externally rotate, and land it. So we end up with an open pelvis position. Then reverse that. Lift internally and land it. Lift, external, land. Lift, internal, land. Two more flowing if you can. Get this sort of semicircle arc. We switch. Hand switch. Lift, open, land. Lift, close, land. Lift, open, land. Lift, close, land. Two more smooth. So it's just one circular gesture. Good. Legs back to hip distance. Hinge. Fold at the hips. And then sit upright. And then lean back as far as you can. And sit back upright. Do that 4 more times, please. Lean forward, hinge forward at your hips as far as you can. So you feel your lower back open up. And sit back to vertical. Then lean back. And hinge to neutral. Fold. Neutral. Lean back. Neutral. Fold. Let's make this our last one here. Leaning back and neutral. Now, one more thing with our hips. Step, step. Turn the hands here. This is like the dragon arm position, like big dragon with its arms on the ground. And this creates both a sturdy base as well as it turns our shoulders and arms internally so that as we now fold between the legs and between the arms, drop the torso and head down through, we get this really interesting sort of wringing out of the deep tissues of the hips and shoulders. And then sit back to vertical. Let your arms turn to neutral, just normal, and lean back with a wide hip position. And then back to vertical. As you begin folding forward, turn the arms to that dragon position and bow. And then sit upright. Arms turn to neutral, lean back. 2 more. The dragon bows. And to clear some range of motion and internal real estate, we do the dragon stirs the seed. So watch me do 1 full round. I lean back. I tip to this right buttock. I turn my chest that way. and I bow. As I bow, my arms go into this dragon position. And now when I swoop through, I'm in that arm position that I lean back and come around. So join me on that. Leaning back, going over to the right, bowing to the right. Get your arms in that position. Elbows are flared out. And then sweep through over to the other side and lean back and around. 2 more. Bow and swoop through. The dragon stirs the sea with its tail. Now, as you finish that third one, let's go 3 the other way. Bow, swoop through to the other side. So we're buying real estate. We're opening up space within so that when we stand up, we'll be able to move more and more freely. All right, we finished that third one. Bring your legs back together. And then we close that opening little module. Float the arms, turn the palms upish. They sweep up and over with bending at the elbows, and the hands just settle, 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 settle down to the belly button height of the body. Notice that my elbows don't get stuck somewhere like this. Like some of you have your elbows stuck out like that. Notice subtleties. My elbows drop, my hands drop. There's relaxation all the way through. So make sure you get to that finished place. You don't get stuck somewhere, right? A lot of times that's what's going on. We're stuck. We got to get through. Now, standing up, sitting down, about 5 of them. So the key to this is, firstly, feet come back a little bit. This is an acute angle. And then our first gesture is softly folding. There's no effort to do that. Then there's a little effort here to go forward enough to get butt off the chair, head beyond the toes, and then just push through the ground to rise the rest of the way. Stick the butt back. Notice the knees haven't bent yet. The head and shoulders are forward. The butt is back. Then as you sink the butt, then you get down and sit vertical. Again, folding takes no effort. A little effort forward, and then push down to rise, get all the way to totally complete and vertical. And then when sitting, fold at the hips first. Sink, control gravity, and land. 3 more on your own, please. Folding, rising up. One more, and this time we'll stay standing. Okay, now squats, the butt sticks out, sink the butt, the arms just dangle down, and then we rise back up. So we don't sit in the chair. So whenever I say squats, it now means we're not sitting in the chair, right? We're not sitting in the chair. We're just squatting and then rising. Let's add to that, when you get to the top, push the hips more forward than you should or than you would normally, and let your upper body just softly fall backwards. So that you get this feeling of now your hips push back and sink, and then you come up and your hips go forward and even too far forward, creating a little bit of an upper body tip back. So we want that free. We want looseness in this movement so we really feel that it's the middle. It's right here where the movement is happening, right? We're folding, we're sinking, we're rising, we're pushing forward, rather than the middle being up high in our body, right? Which is where it is for a lot of us unnecessarily. Okay. Now finally, stay standing. Just gonna make sure I can be seen and see you guys as well. Okay. Now, while standing, we tip a little bit forward to the balls of the feet. Back to the middle. To the heels a little bit. And middle. Toes. Middle. Heels. Now the thing with the heels is that when I go to the heels, I sort of tip the upper body just a little forward to create counterbalance, right? When I go forward here though, I let the body fall kind of forward. So you let yourself tip that way and let the toes and front feet activate to keep you up. And then when you go back, there isn't so much foot back there. There's only the heel. So you have to organize it a little differently. Head and shoulders sort of forward a little. Last one, tip and tip back. Now this new bit that we've been working on, tip forward into the toes and stay there. Go more to the right foot. You're in the front of the right foot only, more or less. Then back across the front to the left front. So we're staying tipped forward and we're going over to the right now and across. And the way we're executing it is with a completely relaxed chest, shoulder, and this middle area is just arranging over here, arranging over here, arranging. Now stay on the right. Go back along the right foot to the right heel. Then come back up the right foot to the right toe. So now we stay on the right side and go back and forth just on that right foot. Back, forward, back. The next time you're forward, stay forward, come across the toes. Now we'll do that on this side. Back to the heel, forward to the ball of the foot, back to the heel. And what you'll start to feel by practicing this is that it's not a square that we're moving on, it's actually a circle. So we're sort of circling around the outside to the front and then circling around the outside to the back. Now as you circle around the front, come across the front of that circle to the other side, go back along the outside of that circle. Let's do that again. Around the front and to the back. Around the front to the back. Now stay in the back and go heel to heel. This one's kind of the most dangerous or difficult, to stay in your heels, right? And oftentimes you'll need the arms just to kind of be out in front to help counterbalance you a little bit. And you're going heel, heel. So now it's the back side of that circle. Back side of that circle, down in the feet. Now let's make 3 complete circles each way. So going to your right along the heels, up along the side, come around the front, and back along the outside of the left. Back along the heels, around the front, around the back. One more. This is one you can play with anywhere, really. Let's go the other way. And what it's doing is it's buying us real estate, but it's also helping us understand where our middle is, because we're going around all the edges. One more. So that we can now, let's go ahead and find middle. Find your middle. All right. Now, let your body weight shift more into the right leg, emptying that left foot, and lift the heel, lift the tippy toe. You could stay with the toe touching or lift and go right back down, empty. Change your body weight. Empty, go heel, tippy toe, or possibly lift. Lower back down, empty, shift. So what we want to avoid is this. And landing right back in the foot. That's what a lot of times we can do. We can muscle it and then slam it down. Where we're trying to shift over till this is empty. Wait for it and go empty. Keep it empty. Shift. Keep it empty the whole way. Especially on the setting of the foot down. That's the harder part. This is one thing, but letting this go down without falling with it is what shows that we're really getting our stability over it. Change. So now that it's empty, it's free to step or to lift and then land. Shift. Lift. Land. Shift. Very good. One more. And we're back to middle. All right, go to your chairs. First exercise here is heel toe raises. So now again, we're going to rock into our toes. Lift the heels up as high as you can. Really press down through the base of the pinky toe, ring toe, middle toe, big toe. Use all 5 of your toes there. And then lower down the heels. Rock back to your heels and lift your toes, but you're able to hold the chair for balance a little bit and lift the balls of the feet off the ground. Then again, rock forward, lift, lower, rock back, lift, lower. Someday, just fingertips here, or someday, no hands. When that's appropriate, this will be the harder one, rocking back. So you'll want something there for safety. But over time, take away your crutches so that you can train that self-reliance. Okay, now legs swinging, the pendulum. So get to where the chair is to your one side and you have the outside leg now empty because you put your weight into the inside leg and you swing. Pendulum. Notice where my finger is pointing, it's at the hip. So yes, the knee might bend a little as we go back, but you don't want it to be all knee joint back. You want the hip, the leg to swing. Okay? Now we add to that. The leg swings back, bend the knee, bring the knee forward, foot goes out, and it swings again. Bring it through, and it swings again. Bring it through, it swings again. Sort of like skateboarding. If you were skateboarding, you'd go and push yourself along the ground. Now we switch, swing it forward, tuck, and this is important. Reach back. The upper body has to counter bend or counter tilt. Then we swing. Reach back, swing through. Swing. 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 One more. Swing. Now we switch sides. Remember this. Kobu, which is Chinese for hook step. Hook. So we cross. We rotate and turn. And then we bring everything around. Now let's back up a little bit so we have that chair out in front of us slightly to our other side. Now the outside leg should be your other leg. Swing, pendulum. Remember, it's from the hip. Swing. Now the skateboard. Back, bend the knee, the heel comes up, the knee comes forward, the foot extends, and then it's ready to swing. Bring it through, swing, 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 swing. Reverse, foot forward, tuck up, reach back, and then it's ready to swing. Tuck, push back, it's ready to swing. Tuck and reach, swing. Tuck, reach, swing. Couple more. And now, kobu and face your chair. Now should be maybe the right leg, whatever leg you weren't using. Out, in, out, in. So you can either have your hands on your chair when you're doing this, or hands on your belly while you're doing this. When you're wanting to take it to another challenge level, take one on the navel, one on top. This helps us keep our center while we're moving, right? Now, this leg here, the leg that you were moving sideways, bring it in, forward, out around a circle behind you, slide it forward, like you're drawing the letter C with the ball of your foot. Forward, C. Sort of a ballet exercise here. Forward, around. So hands on the chair if that's needed. Forward, around. Switch directions of that circle. So it's back, around. I'll turn sideways so you can see back, out and around. Back, out and around. Back, out and around. And switch legs. So empty this leg now. Out, in. Out, in. And notice the hips and other leg are our stable place. And this is empty, so it's just moving out and in. Now the circles, forward, draw that circle, forward, draw that circle, turn sideways, forward, draw, forward, draw. Switch directions, back, out and around, forward, back, out and around, forward. Keep going, back, out, around, forward. And middle, other leg, external rotation, neutral. So we just keep it empty, pick it up, turn it internally, toes in, knee in. The knee has to be a little bit bent here, just a little. Neutral, external, both knees a little bit open. We're not locked out like so. We're slightly sunk. Neutral, internal, neutral. So what you're getting is command of this hip or this leg bone at the hip socket. Neutral, internal. Now skip neutral, external, internal, external, internal, external, and internal, back to neutral and switch. External, neutral, internal. Knees just softly open. Neutral, out, in. Now skipping neutral. Out, in, out, in, out, and back to neutral. Now closing that little module, shogun, or closing gesture. Hands settling down. Remember what I said about not getting caught in some flared elbow position. It's soft, it's relaxed. It's called middle embrace. All right, next module, our stepping module. Get yourself arranged with your chair. So it's off to your side, but in front of you. So it's in front and off to the side. Put your weight into your outside leg, free up the inside leg, and softly place the heel on the ground. That hand can be on the chair, other hand just relaxed alongside you. Shift into that leg and get to the toes of your back foot, and then shift back. Heel of the front foot. Shift forward, toe of the back foot. Shift back, heel of the front foot. Those of you that have been doing it a while and are starting to feel some improvement in your balance, these are the moments, the first level. When I say level 1 out of levels 2, 3, or 4, that's where you could really challenge yourself to not use the chair. And then when I say level 2, you go back to the chair. Or when I say level 3, you choose to go back to the chair. But here, since we're not leaving the ground, we're getting an opportunity to feel really self-reliant during this challenge. Now, level 2, this is again, you might want your chair. This is just where we lift and lower, and then we shift. And we get it empty so that the back foot can lift, lower, shift back. Front foot lift, lower, shift. Lift, lower, shift back. Continue. So this is level 2. Maybe you can do this one without the chair assistance. Now, level 3, you probably definitely need this. It's not only lift, but it's tuck it up, trying to get eventually the knee above the hip. Then you let that leg down without any weight, shift. Now the back leg, same thing. Heel comes up, but now we bring knee forward and up. And then we reach that foot back without any weight in it. And then we shift back. So then we go again, up and finish it. Tuck it all the way up. Then down, shift. All the way to chamber, back, shift. Tuck, down, shift. Someday you'll be doing this, no chair. And back. One more. Now we switch sides by just shifting, doing a kobu, hook, turn, and square yourself to the other direction, and then take a few steps back, use the chair for safety. Level 1. So remember, this is where you might challenge yourself, no chair. Rock forward, get to the tippy toes of the back foot. Rock back, the tippy heel of the front foot. Forward, so you're in the toes of the back foot. Then rock back into that back foot, so you're on the heel of the front foot. Keep going. And remember how I've said before, where is the bullseye in the foot? It's the ball of the foot. So when I'm letting my weight go through, it's actually mostly landing right at that bubbling spring of the foot. Same thing when I shift back, I'm not letting it go all the way back to my heel. I'm letting it get to that ball of foot. So it's ball of foot, ball of foot. Last level 1, then we do level 2. Again, you might need chair or maybe not. Lift, lower, shift. Lift back foot, lower back foot, shift back. Front foot just lifts a little and shift. Back foot lifts a little, down, shift. Hit the bullseye every time, but not with force. Releasing the body weight through is the arrow that you're firing. So you're releasing your body weight down to the bullseye. Bing. And then you're releasing your body weight down to the bullseye each time. Last level 2, then let's do level 3. Level 3. Foot lifts and you bring the knee up. So this is again where you might need hand on chair. Heel comes down, shift. Back foot, heel up, then knee lift. And then reach it back, shift back. Lift in front, chamber, down. Reach back, up. One more. Level 3. Level 3. And now change sides. So that step, kobu or hook step, turn, square yourself that way. And now back up even more so that the chair is even just slightly within reach and off to one side. Put that inside foot out in front. Now shift into it, wait for it. When the back foot is empty, remember when we let our legs swing? Let the legs swing and go right to the heel, and then shift into that foot. Pause there. Then we go back, shift into your back foot. Wait for that front foot to be empty. Let it swing back, touch the toe, and then shift back. This is level 1. Shift, hit the bullseye, swing, shift, hit the bullseye. Shift back, swing the leg, shift back. Shift forward, swing the leg, shift forward. Shift back, swing the leg, shift back. And go at the pace that suits you, right? I might be going too fast with my words. So it's shifting until you're empty of the foot. You swing the empty foot, then you shift again. Now, level 2, lift front foot, lower it, shift. When the back foot's empty, it can then step over an obstacle and get in front. Shift. Back foot lifts, lowers, then we shift back. Front foot lifts forward, tucks, and reaches back so it gets over that obstacle, and then we shift back. Lift front foot, lower it. Shift, small obstacle, up and over. Shift. Back foot lift, lower, and then shift back. Small obstacle, shift back. Lift, lower. 2 more. Hit the bullseye every step. So it's ball of foot, ball of foot, ball of foot back, ball of foot back. 2 level 3s if you got them. Tuck, lower, ball of foot. Then it's this exaggerated experience of the leg. And bring the knee forward and up. Then reach that foot back. We go back. Now it's tuck, reach, shift. 1 more. And kobu, turn, reset your body facing the other way, walk back. Level 1, that inside foot is the foot out. So make sure you're tracking which foot you're having in front, which one behind, so that when we switch, you're actually doing the other side. Just make sure of that. Right? You guys are in your own world there, so you have to be tracking what's happening. So now it's level 1, shift. Wait for the back foot to be empty, swing it, shift, pause, back, swing the empty foot back, shift, pause, forward, swing, forward. This one is the most like regular walking. This is the most how we're going to be moving through our space. But you want to feel that differential of which one is full, which one is empty, instead of both being full all the time and stomping around sort of like we're on stilts. That's how many people are walking, as opposed to going, one leg takes my weight, then my other leg takes my weight with like this spring-loaded quality. Level 2, lift, lower, shift. Now this is that small obstacle. That means you disconnect the foot from the floor, step it up and over, and then shift. Back foot lifts, lowers. We shift back, front foot lifts, tucks, and reaches. Back, lift, lower. Shift, up and over. Shift, lift, lower. Shift back, up and over. Shift back. Level 2. Level 3, tuck, down, shift. This is where you just sort of exaggerate the range of movement there. And you bring the knee forward. Reach it back, shift, exaggerate all that. Make sure the foot's empty, the leg is empty. When it's empty, it means the other has to have been filled. So I'm rooting through one, rooting through the other. One more. Rooting, rooting. And really the best way to think of it is like a plug in a socket. You're using one leg to be the plug to your root. And kobu. And face your chair. Now let's all move to the left side of the space so that the chair is off to our right. And I'm going to turn and face you guys, but you'll have your chair in front of you if you need it. And then we put the weight into our outside leg, and this inside leg should be your right leg, is now free. So just slide it out, but no body weight. Shift and change. Now this other leg is empty. Bring it in, keeping it empty. Change. Step the right foot out. Shift across. Step that left foot in. Change. Out. Change. In. Change. Out. Change. In. Change. Out with no weight in it. Change. In. Change. One more, and then we switch directions. So the foot comes in, back out. Let's go back the way we came. Right? And so the way a lot of us would do this is, I'm doing it, right? And I'm getting there really fast, right? But what's missing in that is this articulate, sort of sophisticated step without changing, change without stepping, step without weight shifting, weight shift without stepping, then step, change, step without changing, change, out, change, in, change, out, change, in, change, out, change. Good. And make your way back to the middle. And let's do our rotational steps. So again, this is where you might want your walking stick or your cane, the thing that can go with you if you're feeling very unsteady. Empty the right leg. Turn the right leg out 90 degrees. Shift onto the right leg, turn your body to square to the right, and bring your left foot to match your right foot. Then empty your right leg again, turn it out 90 degrees. Shift and turn and square. So you should be turning around in one direction. In two more moves, turn the right foot out, shift and rotate and turn. And once more, you should be back to generally where you started. Right foot turns out, shift, turn, and square. Let's do that again. To the right. So right foot is empty, turn it out. Shift and turn. I think it was Lance who was mentioning last time this point about letting the knee be bent in the foot that you're turning out, right? If it's locked, you get less turnout. But if you let the knee sort of softly be bent, then you can really get that leg turned out and come around. And that's just the Tai Chi leg. Understanding that better and better, how to let those joints be open. Let them be open so that you're not a stick figure. All right, the next time you're facing forward, just switch directions. Go left foot, turn out. Shift, turn, and square to the left. Again, left foot, turn out. Shift, turn, and square. Left foot, turn out, empty. Shift, turn, and square. Let your arms hang. Left foot, turn out. Shift, turn, and square. Again, to the left. So noticing if you are staring down at the ground, that's understandable in the beginning, right? You're just trying to gauge what's going on. But as soon as you feel like you possibly can, lift your gaze up. Because if you're staring down at the ground, your posture, your central line is being broken, essentially, right? We're like this. And so we want to get that center line tall. And then just change leg, and find that center line around which we are turning. Now, remember external rotation, but also remember internal. So now right leg internal, shift onto it and slightly turn open to the left. Do it again. Right leg internal, so pigeon toe, and then shift and slight rotation, or orientation rather. Right foot pigeon toe, shift onto that right leg and reorient. Right foot pigeon toe, reorient, and then one more, you should be back around to the front, thereabouts. Let's do that again. So the right leg leading. So when the right leg pigeon toes, we turn to the left. Right foot internal rotation pigeon toe. We then shift onto it and we're turning slightly left. Right foot pigeon toe. Turn. Right foot pigeon toe. Turn. Let's do that to the left now once you get around to the front. Pigeon toe to the left. Shift. Pigeon toe. Shift. So we're just taking little quarter turns around. Twice with the left foot as the leading foot. So it's just internally rotating, and then we're turning. Internally rotating, we're turning. Internal, turning, and we're back to middle. And then our final thing, let's put it all together there for those rotational steps. Right foot turns out. You can watch me if you need to. Shift, and then I continue and pigeon toe so that I can now turn and face the camera. And what I'd like you to add to that challenge is just a little lift of that empty foot, of the right foot. So then it's turn out, pigeon toe, and then turn, lift and lower. Turn out, shift and turn, pigeon toe, square away from the camera, lift right foot, lower right foot, turn right foot out, left foot, pigeon toe, swivel, you should face the camera, lift, lower. So do that twice more. Out, shift, turn, pigeon. Out. Lift and lower. Then we switch. Left foot is the external rotator. Shift and turn, right foot is the internal rotator. And then we swivel a little and lift the left foot lower. Turn it out. Shift, turn right foot in. Shift and square towards front, lift and lower. Out. Pigeon. Swivel. lift lower. 2 more. Last one. And from standing, hands rub pubic area, groin area, inguinal region, then around the hips to the tailbone and the sacrum, the hip muscles, the lumbar spine. Turn the hands like fists and rub with the back knuckles on the back muscles. And then the butt sneaks back. We do as if a squat, slide the hands down the outer leg, around to the inner leg, stand back up and come up with the hands to the belly button. Go around the middle meridian, belt meridian, rub your lumbar or Ming Men or door of life and do it again. Palms on the buttocks. The butt goes back as you slide, come around and come up the inseam to the navel. 2 more. Come around to the Ming Men. Rub your Ming Men on your back. Then slide around and up. 1 more. Around to the back. Ming Men. Sweep. And then finishing with left hand up the outer right arm to the shoulder. Turn the right palm up, slide down the inseam of the right arm, and do that again on the same arm. Up the outer arm, down the inner arm. Up the outer arm, down the inner arm. Up the outer arm over the shoulder, down the inner arm, past the fingertips. Up the outer to the shoulder, down the inner past the fingertips. 1 more. Other side, up the outer to the shoulder, turn the arm palm up, down past the fingertips. Up the outer, down the inner. Up outer. And shogun, final time. Wings, roll full. Settle, settle, settle. And then seal. Place 1 hand over the belly button, other hand over that hand, 3 breaths. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. If there are questions, we can chat for a little bit here. I know some of you have places you got to be. So you're, of course, welcome to just wave and say bye-bye. See you.